straight away I have one obstacle, which is this post here. So I need to do something here. So as you can see, I already began laying this flooring, and I forgot to show you how I usually begin with installing this kind of flooring. So first I have this underlayment. It's 3 millimeters thick. So one thing to notice when you are installing this underlayment, there's usually written on this underlayment that which side should be down and which is up. So it's written here, this side down. So this side should be against the floor, like I did here. So as you can see, it is a floating floor, so I'm not gluing it down. So these boards just click together. You can see here, it's plywood underneath, quite thick layer of plywood, and then a thin layer of actual oak. they lock together like that. So I usually give it like a little tap, and it kind of locks it like that, so you can't pull it out. What makes this flooring quite easy is the fact that I just need to lock it like here, and then I just need to click this part here. So quite often these floors are more tricky to install, because you need, basically you have the similar system here as well. So you need to slide it in. But in this case, this type of flooring is much more easier. So and now it's locked. You can like use a hammer and a piece of wood to correctly lock it, but basically this is how I lay this floor. So yeah. So quite often when I do these like small renovations, the conditions are not ideal. So it means like there's some furniture inside the room, and yeah, you kind of have to work together with stuff. So you need to move like couch, for example, or yeah, and it's understandable when it's like small apartment, for example, you can't store these things, so you need to just manage together with them. So the similar thing is here. So I have this quite large couch, and I didn't have room to move it to another room or yeah, store it somewhere. And I also have this one like cupboard over there. So I just move them from side to side. And one other thing to notice with these floating floors is that you should leave a gap always between the floor and the walls. So I always leave a gap around the whole perimeter. And so the floor can move a bit if it's necessary. So here as well, you can see the gap. And when I do these things, like around the post, I need to always leave a gap, so I can't like push this floor material against the obstacles. The same around here, so I need to leave a gap here as well. So here's my jigsaw. It's corded, so it's hooked up with my vacuum cleaner, and I set it on the tool, like tool mode. So each time I press the button here, it starts the vacuum cleaner, so it's less dust. And of course you should have a sharp blade. So this is, I should actually change it, but yeah, basically this is what I use. And of course my block and the hammer. So it has like a profile, so it won't damage the edge, so I can push it against it and then lock it in place properly. So you should always check each board if there are any like damages, and this one has. I don't know if you can see, but this one has a damage here, so I need to actually take this board out. So the first board over there is 100%, so full size board. Then I did cut the full size board in half, so this is 50%, this is 75%, and this is 25%. And after that I will begin with full size board again. So this is basically how I begin my floor installation. And after that I usually follow not exactly the same pattern, but yeah, I will use like the offcuts, but I try to like not to have like the one line of these joints. So I kinda try to scatter them around as much as possible. So next thing, I need to install underlayment there. So I need to move some of the stuff here. So I'm going to cover it. So I don't want to damage the new floor with my tools. So I opened this package, the first one I found. Let's turn it around. So it's perfectly alright here, but this locking mechanism is broken. I can still use it. So when you take the floorboards out of the package, you should always check if there are any like damages or maybe during transportation there can be. So always check before you're laying them on the ground. It's so annoying to find it out later, like in the middle of the floor. I have to be honest, it has happened, not much, but still. So I'm beginning to install the last row. And luckily it's quite alright distance between here to the wall, so it's not like this narrow strip. And yeah, so far so good. So I did cut one side away, so it's flat, and I have this tongue, so I use this piece to make the marking. because I don't have much room here, and my electrical miter saw is on the other job site. I'm using my old school manual miter saw. And what else? One other thing is that I'm using coping instead of just mitering like inside corners. And this is something in this part of the world I see very rarely. And I know it's common in United States and New Zealand, Australia, and so on, but not so common here. That's why I'm practicing it. It's an interesting way to install baseballs, in my opinion. Now this is the part I coped. And the corner can be different angles, and you still have quite a good connection.